Okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to do much in the way of gameplay related stuff anymore, but when a company emails you and practically gives you a Steam key for their game, I just couldn't said no to making a video. Well, at least it gives me an excuse to try this again. Now, some of you have probably looked at this game and thought, hold on a second, doesn't this feel like... Well, yes, you would be right in thinking that, because this game does borrow a lot of elements from Portal, the main one being using some sort of gun to manipulate the environment to help solve puzzles. However, instead of using portals, you're using colours. The main idea is to use the three primary colours, red, blue and yellow, to colour walls and worker drones to clear rooms of puzzles. You can of course mix these colours to create others, and also brown, which doesn't do anything. Now, this all sounds like a lot of fun, right? Actually, it kind of falls flat, in some areas more than others. Firstly, this game is trying to be more like Portal than I care to admit. The story is pretty much your standard, you are a test subject testing a new device in a company that is failing and you know the disembodied voice will try and kill you at some point affair. And to me, it feels like it's trying way too hard to be funny. I mean, just listen to some of this dialogue.
You're here because you're the best of the best. Not because you were in need of $10 and nobody else signed up. I mean, who would have given you that idea? Would not be able to solve the subsequent rooms and eventually succumb to hunger. Remember, if you want helpful worker droids to aid you with the completion of this chamber, these aren't the worker droids you're looking for.
Oh, just shut up!
The worst part of it all is, I'm pretty sure this guy is a sadist, given the fact that he sometimes laughs at you when you die. Yeah, and this is meant to be the witty background narrative that the game advertises. You know what else it advertises? Mind-melting puzzles. To be fair, I'd say that was only true for about half of them. Sure, the ones at the start are all tutorial puzzles, which are there to help you get into the game, and they're nice that they're there, but there are some later on that are just as easy, almost to the point of being insulting. And at which point, sometimes within the same area, you'll be thrown into a puzzle that's not so much mind-melting, but ball-crushingly difficult. And this is only made worse by the fact that if you make one mistake, you have to restart the entire level all over again. Seriously, you make so much as one mistake in a puzzle, such as painting a wall or droid the wrong colour, and you have to start again. There was one puzzle I probably had to restart 20 plus times, mostly because there was no clear indication as to how close a droid needs to be to a painted wall before it'll start attracting it, so it all came down to guesswork. Also, this game has a nasty habit of throwing death traps at you without warning, which means you often panic, do something wrong, or spend several minutes running around in circles trying not to die, instead of taking your time to observe the area and work out the puzzle. Speaking of the areas, each room pretty much looks the same. I mean, the visuals are nice, but once you've seen one white-walled room with floating orbs in it, you've pretty much seen them all. There is one moment in the game where it does the whole "the disembodied voice will try and kill you now" thing, when the whole building gets burnt to the ground, after which you have to clear the next few puzzles in the dark, with only a small light source. At first, I thought I was going to be playing like this for the rest of the game, and I would have to alternate between lit and dark rooms using the flashlight to help me solve puzzles, and that I'd be able to get to see behind the scenes of what the company was actually up to. But no, that whole thing is over and done with in a few rooms and you're back to the simple puzzle solving again. I ended up playing for about 3 hours of this game, and I got to either about the middle or end of Chapter 7. But considering that I don't know how long each chapter was because the game doesn't really tell you, or at least visually anyway, I'm not sure how much longer this game would go on for, so I'm guessing probably about 4 hours maybe? But with the asking price, that might be a tough sell for some people. So, at the end of it all, would I recommend this game? Sadly no. I have to give credit where credit is due though, and say that solving puzzles with primary colour mixing is certainly a clever mechanic and not one that you see all that often. But I can't help but feel that someone put on the design document needs to be like Portal. The dialogue is unfunny and often repetitive, the story is pretty much not there, the levels are all rather bland in appearance with some questionable designs that lead to a few empty corridors and rooms, and having to restart puzzles from scratch because you made a mistake makes the whole thing feel pretty tedious. In conclusion, I personally didn't enjoy this game. If you're curious, I'd say pick it up when it goes on sale, but I won't blame you if you come out feeling disappointed.
Those are called deadly, electrified maintenance tiles for a reason. Deadly. Deadly. Get it in your head.
Shut the fuck up!